This episode of the podcast is sponsored by Jed's Barbershop. With 3 locations now, you have no reason to not always look your best. Go get a haircut, a beard trim, or even a straight razor shave. Jed's Barbershop is open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., Saturday 9 to 7, and Sunday 12 to 5. They have a location downtown at 212 South, 700 East, and in Sugar House at 2153 East, 2100 South. They just opened up a 3rd location at 167 East, 900 South, right next to Randy's Records. No appointment is necessary. Head on over to jedsbarbershop.com for more information.
Showcasing local talent, professionals, and everyday people, making Salt Lake City what it is today. It's time for another episode of the I Am Salt Lake podcast.
Welcome to episode 266 of I Am Salt Lake podcast. My name's Chris Hollifield.
And I'm Chrissy Shelley.
Thank you for joining us on today's episode, where we sit down and chat with local Salt Lake City blues musician Tony Holiday. On this episode, Tony shares his story on how he got involved in playing blues music and even talks about the Utah Blues Society and how you can get involved with them.
They do a lot of cool stuff here in Salt Lake.
Yeah, at all the different schools. And
I wish I had that when I was a kid. I thought I didn't know people could play the harmonica as an actual instrument as a child.
Oh, really?
Like I just thought you blew in it and made like train noises.
See, I have a lot of fond memories growing up with my grandfather playing the harmonica.
Oh, yeah.
And whenever we'd go out and visit him in Minnesota, he'd always play his harmonica.
That's
a really
so cool.
young age, I remembered, and I would pull it out of his pocket and I'd say, "Play the harmonica for me." So it was really cool, you know. And I have a harmonica at home.
You do,
and
I'm still waiting to be serenaded.
I've always wanted to learn how to play it. Mm-hmm. And Tony talks about in this episode how he even teaches harmonica lessons.
Yeah, he gave some good tips.
He did. So, you know, maybe I'll get off my rear end and actually take some harmonica lessons.
You should make a new intro with the harmonica for this.
I don't know if anybody would like to hear that.
I would enjoy it. As
always, if this is your first time listening to the podcast, head on over to our website, iamsaltlake.com. This is where you can find all the back episodes of the podcast for you to listen to. Listen to them right there online. There's also links for iTunes, Stitcher Radio, all the different podcast outlets.
Yeah, pretty easy.
Are right there online. You know, we've been chatting with some awesome people here in Salt Lake.
And if you're only interested in certain things like food in Salt Lake or comedians in Salt Lake or music, it's all broken down by category.
You've done a hell of a job kind of, you know, breaking it down there, Chrissy. I don't know. I wouldn't have been able to create such an awesome website. So thank you.
Well, thanks.
Thank you for doing that. Getting over a bit of a head cold, so I apologize on this intro. I feel a little plugged up, you know.
Yeah, I think it's like it's almost starting to get into flu season now.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody has colds and flus.
I am ready for winter to be over.
Oh, me too.
This episode is also sponsored by our friends at Oleo Skin and Beard. If you're like us, your skin is dry, your beard is dry, you need to moisturize.
They help me make it through the winter, honestly, and these are some of the driest winters out here.
Oleo Skin and Beard carries an amazing line of skin oils, beard butters for moisturizing and shaping your beard, even some great facial cleansers that I know Chrissy's a fan of.
Mm-hmm.
Head on over to their website, oleoskin.com. You can order directly on the website. You can also find out what shops locally carry their products. Again, oleoskin.com. So we have a big announcement. I know Chrissy and we've been eager to share this with you with everybody listening.
Yeah.
If you're friends of ours on Facebook, you've already heard the news, but Chrissy and I are going to be adding a new addition to the family.
And it's not going to be furry, but it might be.
He'll come out with a full beard. Anyway, Chrissy and I are going to have a baby. Well, Chrissy's going to have the baby. I'm not going to have a baby.
But it'll be partly you.
You know, and I'm going to be honest here. I don't know how the heck this happened to me. Here I am. I'm a guy. I'm living downtown, and I get involved with you. All of a sudden, like one of your kids pointed out, you know, a lot of people listening to the podcast don't even know that you already have 3 kids.
Right. Yeah.
You know, maybe they don't follow us on social media. Mm-hmm. They haven't listened to any of our previous recordings. They're new here. You have 3 kids. So like one of your kids pointed out, we have a family. We're going to have a family of 6.
Yeah.
I sat back and when I was driving the car, I sat back and I said, how the heck did this happen, Chris?
In less than a year.
Oh my God.
You went from 1 to 6. I guess it'll be 2 years. But
so anyway, that's going on in our life.
Awesome.
Chrissy's having a baby. I believe it's my baby.
Hopefully.
Maybe it's the mailman's. I don't know. But I've been wanting to share the news with everybody for a while. It was kind of one of those things you're like, oh, no, you're not supposed to share until such and such a time.
Yeah,
and
like social faux pas.
And it kind of gets to the point of this, you guys. You all are my friends. You all are listeners of the show. I want to include you in my life. Chrissy wants to include you in our life. So it's kind of like follow our journey. Follow all of this as we share this magical moment. I'm excited.
It's new experience. It's going to be awesome.
I mean, I'm 40 the end of the year. It was time for me to have a kid.
Right? Get on it. We were like, time's ticking, man.
And so many people were just like, oh, Chris, you're so lucky that you don't have kids. And it's like, how is that lucky? Is it lucky? If kids are so horrible, why do people keep having them?
They're pretty damn cute.
Yeah. So that's new in our life. We'll be sharing that journey. I kind of want to start another podcast of kind of my dad journeys. Keep your eyes out for that. We'll see what happens there.
A dadcast.
The dadcast. So I'm excited. Chrissy's excited.
Oh, yeah.
I know my family's excited.
Oh, so is mine. Everyone's excited. We already got a box of baby clothes.
All right, let's jump into that conversation that we had with local Salt Lake City blues musician Tony Holiday as he shares his story, his musical story, his adventures. Enjoy, and thank you so much for listening, everybody. Here it is. Where's home? Where did you grow up? Where do you like to call home?
I'm from here. I'm from Salt Lake. I grew up in South Jordan.
Your whole life? Lived here, born, raised, never moved away?
Yeah, I moved away several times.
But always came back?
Uh-huh.
Where did you move away to?
Let's see here. The first time I moved out of Utah, I was 19 or so, and it was California.
Whereabouts in California?
It was Los Angeles, Inglewood, Los Angeles.
What took you down to California?
My buddy, I had gotten into some trouble when I was, 17. And then when I was 19, when I got out when I was 19, I decided to leave Salt Lake, and I went to work with my good friend doing demolition, remodeling hotels.
Were you playing music of any sort by this time?
Yeah, I was playing by myself.
Just for fun?
Yeah.
But never like in any bands or anything like that? What instruments were you playing at this time?
Guitar and then banjo.
Okay.
A little bit of banjo,
Just kind of plucking around, playing, nothing serious?
It's always serious to me, but yeah, just playing for myself.
Did you write a lot of your own music at that point?
Yeah, I guess if you could call it that. Every time I go back and look at some stuff I wrote back then, I was like, no, I didn't write that. That's something I heard and then thought I wrote something, and it's really like a Bob Dylan
You
tune
repurposed someone else's song. That's how you start,
to be honest,
though.
yeah.
That's what inspiration initially is.
Yeah.
So
I can't really identify anything back then. I'd have to give somebody else credit.
But self-taught, or did you take lessons at all of any sort? Or
yeah, so I took lessons. I bought a lot of Doc Watson stuff, and I took a lot of Doc Watson lessons, not personally, but he has instructional videos, and they're really cool. They break down all of his tunes. And
like YouTube videos? Or?
No, it was before YouTube.
When you would buy like a DVD in the mail?
Yeah, or just... I don't know, where did you get those damn things? No, you got them at the music store. You got them at your local music store.
Yeah. And then you'd get a book and a movie.
I'd say book and a DVD.
I tried that once.
And it's Doc Watson himself sitting down and,
So you're in California then at this time. What brought you back to Utah? Like what? You kind of said you moved away a few times, kept coming back to Utah.
I went for work, and I did that from all over California. Then we moved to Pittsburgh, and we moved to, New Mexico, Colorado, Florida, Georgia, doing that.
Doing demolition?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
At different hotels. It was different Accor motels, Motel 6, Red Roof Inn, whatever it was. And then I just my uncle told me to find a trade, whatever I do. So I did that, and I was a painter, and I was painting and antiquing things and doing all sorts of stuff like that. And then
did you enjoy that? Or was it like one of those things you're like, man, I can't wait to quit this?
No, I enjoy everything I do. I'm lucky enough to make sure. I just don't do anything I don't like. I don't know.
Is there, is there a secret behind that? Because, I know in myself, right? Like where you just get so burned out, like especially when you have a manual labor day job
and painting
like that,
is
right?
hard. It's detailed.
Yeah, I get burnt out on everything I love. I think I don't expect one without the other. If I love something, I'm probably going to do it so damn much that I get burnt out on it, Do
you find yourself moving on quickly, or at least kind of trying to mix things up?
So that's the thing, though. I was traveling. I was traveling then, and I was chasing a fantasy because I grew up on movies. I got 7 sisters. I got a mom, and
Any brothers?
No.
Oh, wow.
What was the fantasy you were chasing?
Fantasy was movies I'd seen, Willie Nelson movies about going to new towns and meeting new people and kind of, I think, entertaining the idea of, just fulfilling some fantasies in new towns.
Just kind of being a free spirit.
Traveling and having, being...
Running away from a house full of women.
Having something. I'm not sure.
Did anyone else in your family play instruments?
Yeah, my dad and my grandpa, and they sing too, country music.
So you come from a pretty musical background.
Was that
Kinda.
Was that played a lot in your house growing up?
Country, yes.
Country. So that's kind of where
that's my thing.
That's where your love was.
Mm-hmm. It's what I listened to.
Always been that way?
Always, yeah. Never
like steered over to like growing up with me.
Oh, yeah.
I remember like when I was 12 and 13, a lot of rap and
man, to think about. Yeah, exactly. When you're 12 and 13, I think for me it was more like 13, 14. But yeah, my first concert was like,
what was your first?
You know what my first concert was? It was Salt and Pepper.
Really?
And
That's awesome. My first one was Reba McEntire.
Oh wow! See, I like young Reba.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So where was that concert at? Where was that?
It
here
was
in
at the Delta Center.
And did you like get authorization from your parents to go? Or
Pretty sure, yeah. But why we went? I went with some buddies of mine that I'm still friends with, and we liked the music too, of course, because it was like what was going on at that time. It was like this catchy thing. I can't remember what, Push It Real Good and all that kind of stuff. And it kind of made you think at that time as a young boy, you're like, these chicks like boys. Like, because the chicks we hung out with didn't, it was still kind of awkward. It's like, damn, these chicks are out front with it. Like, they wanted to push it. They want to do everything else. It's cool. We're going to check these girls out.
Sure.
So we went to their concert, and R. Kelly's horny ass opened up for him. He came out in a pine box that said horny on it.
Oh, wow.
Busted out of that thing horny as hell, and we'd never seen anything like that. But yeah, it was my first.
14, 15. Could you imagine your son going to this concert?
Oh my
Chrissy,
gosh.
he's not very far off. She's got, what, 11-year-old?
Yeah,
I
he'll
have
be
a
12 soon.
14-year-old, and if she went to a...
Wouldn't you be like,
I don't know, She already went to a concert with my wife.
Oh, man.
So let's kind of move forward a little bit to modern day, I guess. Your music, because you have a full band, Tony Holiday, and it's at the Velvetones, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Has it always been that way, or like what other bands, or where should we start there? I guess where would be a good place to start with how all of that started here in Salt Lake?
And so after that traveling, wrapped that all up. I moved back to Salt Lake. Always I'm at my family here, so I come back here and, I got together, I was reckless and I was, selfish and I was, having a lot of fun and I, was playing some music and I started jamming with some people and I, met Jordan Young. You guys know Jordan?
The name sounds familiar. Yeah.
Candy's River House. And, then I met Talia Keys. She's a performer. You know her?
Through the music scene, okay. Yeah.
I just wondered if you'd had her on here. She's got quite the story, too. And so when us three met, we started Blue Root, a band called Blue Root. And then as I was just playing guitar, not singing or anything like that, playing lead guitar in that band, I got a taste for the music scene. Talia left to San Francisco to work with Maria Muldaur. Have you heard of her?
I haven't, no.
Midnight at the Oasis. She plays with Bonnie Raitt all the time. She's just this pop star, I think, from the 70s and 80s, and and I don't know enough to say anything about Maria Muldaur, but and so I just had Jordan, and Jordan and I moved to Tennessee, and then I left Tennessee, and I came back, and I got with Talia again, and we just ended up splitting ways, and so I think at that time, then I started the band, then I started it because I just wanted to keep playing music, but then I had lost the two front people.
Approximately what year was this?
I don't know, I'd have to say 7 years ago, 8 years ago.
Okay,
maybe
so
more.
For a little while now. It was a little while ago.
That was a while ago, yeah.
So you never played solo. You always recruited and
Not
stuck
really
with the band.
solo
Yeah.
artist. I don't play any folk music or anything like that. And, blues, I don't know. I like blues a bit differently. I like blues with a 4-piece band.
Yeah, for sure.
But
So is that, how would you say people listening right now that they've never heard of you, right? I got a lot of listeners, I'm sure, that have never heard your music.
Of course, yeah.
How would you describe it to somebody listening?
I'm not sure. It's the harmonica, the way I play it through an amplifier is known as the Mississippi saxophone. And so it's got a big sound coming through the amp, through a microphone that I play the harp through. So it's not just a harmonica on a microphone. It's a big sound that I work on constantly. It's I don't really self-describe it to say, but we play nationwide, coast to coast, and I'm not a salesman, and we have a good time spreading our music around, and we have success with that. And let me just say, in a lot of genres, I can play a lot of different kind of places, and it goes over well. It's soul music, it's emotion, it's a communicative music that we're fortunate enough to be able to work with.
Sure. So, you mentioned that you tour quite a bit.
Yeah.
Are there any states that you haven't played in yet?
Yeah. I have not played in the Northeast, which I just booked a tour in April. So I'm about to cover that ground, but I haven't yet.
So Northeast, Pennsylvania, New York?
Exactly.
Wow. You're going to love it out there. I lived out in Pennsylvania for about 5 years.
Yeah, I lived in Pittsburgh. I lived in Monroeville for a year.
Okay.
So, but
never got to play out there.
Nope, and that was before when I was doing hotel steel. I was traveling and writing poems and playing by myself, just guitar, not harmonica or nothing.
Sure.
So what made you move to the harmonica?
I really like the harmonica. It's something I think about all day, every day.
Was it a difficult transition?
No,
not at all.
I got endorsed on the harmonica 3 or 4 times in the first couple of years, but I played a lot. I really played a lot. I played 6 hours every single day, and I had a couple of mentors in town at that time, and just came natural. I don't know. I hate to say that because I don't.
It just
think
resonated
I'm good.
with you. Yeah. I get that. That's awesome because it's pretty rare for people to find something that they connect with so easily, especially musically.
And I was doing okay on the guitar.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of hard to put that down and I did lose some fans.
Really?
I did lose, I wouldn't say personally, but people that were just kind of more of a fan of the guitar thing I was doing. But
do you play guitar at all anymore, or is it you just do harmonica? Okay.
No, not on stage. I haven't done that in 3 years, going on 4 years.
Oh wow!
But I'm sponsored by this company here called Sidel.
Now, what's it? This is, you said this goes by a different name. He's pulling out it looks like a harmonica, but you said it goes by a different name.
Also looks like a gun if you hold it that way.
If you did, you wouldn't want to do that. This is a chromatic harmonica. So I'm only 2 weeks deep on this thing right here. But anyway, this company's out of Germany, and they're a real popular company. Charlie Musselwhite and a lot of big blues cats are with them. And I've been with them for a couple years. And Memphis Mini Amps out of Wyoming and stuff like that. So I started gathering endorsements on there too. And not only that, but I was able to do things with a much faster rate as far as getting on a blues circuit and playing with my heroes.
Because you kind of had more of a specialty.
It is like that. But once you get that, it's kind of like it could work against you too, because it is such a special instrument. And I think that the people who've taken the time to get really good at it kind of guard that too. And
kind of the secret of the harmonica.
It's hard to get in with those players that know this little intricate instrument well enough to make a living on it and kind of protect it too.
Yeah.
They protect, I think, who they let in, and maybe they wouldn't say that, but that's how I feel about it.
Well, they probably really only want people who take it seriously.
Well, what I was going to ask, though, is I've always had like an interest in learning how to play the harmonica. Where should I start at? Like, where would somebody like myself or somebody listening?
So I give lessons locally, and I think there's so many ways now. Adam Gussow, Ronnie Shellist on YouTube, and David Barrett and Joe Felisko, and these people that are just master harmonica players that offer so much online, and you can get on there and you can get it all for free, and then you can get the upgraded version, of course, like for their memberships and stuff like that. But I mean, if you want it, it's there.
Yeah, you just got to get out there and do it.
Depending on what kind of type of learner you are. If you're the type of learner that can learn by yourself, and when you have time, get on there and organize, your climax of the instrument, and then that's one thing. And then other people need more hands-on kind of stuff.
Sure.
And there's a few harmonica players in town, I think, that would probably be willing to teach, stuff like that.
So back to touring. You've toured the U.S. Any cities or any shows that really stick out more than another show that are just like, I don't know, the crowd or something that happened at one of the shows?
Do you mean on a regular basis or you?
Okay, well, on a regular basis, then is there something that happens on a regular basis?
Do you mean like a place that's like one of my favorite places?
Yeah. Like say there's a city you played in that you're just like, wow, or
that you look forward to going back to.
Yeah, every place.
Time.
Every place.
I'm sure you got your least favorites.
There's a difference between the before time and now. And before, it was bias from other experiences of the situation. So that question's cool, because before I was on a blues circuit when I'm barely starting to get on now. It was going to random bars where it's not necessarily a blues bar and it's just whatever. And when I'm playing the kind of music I'm playing at a sports bar with 50 TVs on, and sure, the people are cool, but I don't, why should I judge that town on that experience? And I come back to that town and I play a blues hall, and it's a tabletop audience, and the people come out and they give golf claps with the solos they appreciate, and it's this another experience. It's different. But I'd say as far as generally, Amarillo, Texas is a place where
you just love playing there.
Just love playing there.
What is it about it that you love?
I love, I've been going there for a very long time, and I love Texas women a lot. I like,
who doesn't, right?
I mean, I could tell you a list a mile long about it. And I just like the enthusiasm. I like the challenge of playing in Texas. I think comes with a little bit of a challenge of bringing a certain degree of music.
Why is that? What?
Well, because Texas has a huge history and influence on every style of music that I can think of, and especially blues and country.
Sure.
Which is, we don't do country, but it comes out. And blues, and there's a Texas style of blues, and of course there's a Texas style of country. I don't know. There's just they're used to good music. A lot of good stuff comes out of there, and it's just I think they breed it well.
Sure. Let's actually take a quick break. We're going to play a message from our sponsor, and then I have some more questions that we're going to chat with you about. So hang tight. We'll be right back with Tony Holiday. This episode of the podcast is sponsored by Jed's Barbershop. With 3 locations now, you have no reason to not always look your best. Go get a haircut, a beard trim, or even a straight razor shave. Jed's Barbershop is open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., Saturday 9 to 7, and Sunday 12 to 5. They have a location downtown at 212 South, 700 East, and in Sugar House at 2153 East, 2100 South. They just opened up a 3rd location at 167 East, 900 South, right next to Randy's Records. No appointment is necessary. Head on over to jedsbarbershop.com for more information. You're the vice president of the Utah Blues Society. Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
What
Nope,
is
totally
the Utah Blues? Well, no, I don't know. You know, a lot of people on their
kidding.
Facebook pages, they just kind of put a bunch of BS, right?
That's true.
They're like,
true.
oh, okay, you know, I got this job at whatever. But what is the Utah
mom's
Blues Society? I don't know anything about it, and I'm sure people listening know nothing about it.
Well, they might, because it's been getting a lot of momentum the last few years, and it's a full-on nonprofit organization, and with board members and the president, Brian Kelm from KRCL, Red, White, and Blues is the president, and he has a lot to do with the blues scene over the last 25 years, and the Dead Goat with Greg Daniels and on all those guys. It's a very real thing, and as a matter of fact, if I could just for a second, last year they threw the Utah Blues Festival at the Gallivan Center, and I played, and Candy's River House played, and they had Toronzo Cannon and Ronnie Baker Brooks, and these blues cats that actually just won all these awards in Memphis this year for all sorts of stuff at the BMAs and in Memphis each year. And the Blues Society is a great turnout. Hella sponsors, all the whole thing. And then this year they've got Rod Piazza and Samantha Fish and these other big blues cats. It's going to be super huge, and the reason why it's had so much success is because this dude named Trip Hopkins, who's on the board down in Memphis at the Blues Foundation in Memphis, Kelm got him on board, and he just really took off with the thing. And as of last week, we just got approved all of our for some grants to perform in a program called Blues in the Schools, and that's where myself and Jim Majors, who writes for Mel Bay, he's our instructor of all sorts of stuff. And the two of us and Trip go to schools, and we have 600 harmonicas to give away through Honer, not Seidel actually, but that's a Honer thing. And so we give the kids harmonicas, and then Jim teaches little blues history, and I show him some stuff on the harp. And it's a program called Blues in the Schools, and every city in the country has a blues society, the registered blues societies. And so every year you send a band, a duo, and a solo artist to represent your state in the International Blues Competition in Memphis that just got finished. And I can't remember who the winner was this year, but the second place and third place was Ray Gordon out of Portland, Oregon, and she crushed it. And now we're eligible to send that next year. And so, yeah, it's a super real thing and nationally known. Everybody knows about it in the blues.
How do you find out more about this? I mean, is there a website?
UtahBluesSociety.org.
Okay. And I'll put that link at iamsaltlake.com with this podcast episode. Yeah. So people can go there, find out more about it, maybe even how to get involved with it.
I'm gonna recommend that you should have Brian Kelm and Trip back on your show, because they're the guys behind the scenes making all the stuff happen and really.
This is random, but is there a way to request for a specific school to have you guys do that there?
Yeah, if you had something in mind, it's from what I gathered from talking to Trip, it's schools that agree to do it. They sign up for it, and certain ones, I'm not sure what the qualifications or.
Do you think maybe one of your kids' schools, Chrissy? Is that kind of what you're thinking?
That's kind of, I'm a little selfish.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. I'd be so stoked if you guys, if my kids came home with a harmonica and a love for blues.
Yeah.
I'd be down with that.
And so that's huge, you know. And the Blues Society, it's not, it's your society.
Yeah.
It's the community thing, and they've done so much already. They've bring a lot of blues acts through the Depot. Like we played with Beth Hart at the Depot last year. They brought that, they made that happen. And just a lot of stuff through the Stateroom, Egyptian Theater, Canyons. That's the Blues Society that's doing a lot of that. Yeah.
Awesome. On your Facebook page, you mentioned, you posted out how you were going to be on this podcast. You mentioned you're going to have an upcoming album.
Yeah.
That's coming out.
Yep.
Talk about that. When is that? What is it?
Something I'm really excited about, because I recorded it with some people that I really like Man vs. Music, Mike Sausage here, and I went to California and recorded at Greaseland Studios. And speaking of the awards down in Memphis, Greaseland just won the best recording studio in the country award. And so it's this just legendary studio where all my blues heroes go down and record. And I got to be friends with a cat named Aki Kumar they call him the Bombay Bomber. He's out of Bombay, India, but he's got big in the Bay Area doing blues. And he actually just put out a Bollywood album. But through him, I got to get into that studio and recorded it there, most of it, with Kid Anderson, Charlie Musselwhite, and Rick Estrin and the Nightcats, guitar player. And anyway, gonna put it out, I think I'll have the date soon, the release date soon. And
you'll be playing a show here, probably like as a release show here in Salt Lake.
I'll release it here in Salt Lake, and then I'll tour it.
Is that the tour you were kind of talking about, being able to go up to the Northeast?
Yeah, I will have that album on that tour, and I may release it in Salt Lake after that tour.
Oh, we get it late?
No, because actually, speaking of that, I have a Kickstarter. You know, they say you get one chance if you're going to do a Kickstarter. Make it count. Do something is worth it, and that you might think that people want to be involved in. So I started that, and I'm doing really well on it.
How can people find that?
So the Kickstarter is going on right now.
The Kickstarter is going on, and so you can pledge like $10, and you can get a digital copy of it before I leave for tour.
When does that? Do you know when that Kickstarter ends?
The Kickstarter ends on March 19th.
Okay, so this podcast will definitely be up by then. You know, like I said here, so I'll put that link up as well.
Put the link up, Kickstarter.com and Tony Holiday and the Velvetones, and if you can find it as well, on the Facebook page, it's there.
Awesome.
You know,
I think I'm going to definitely check it out. You know, I like to support people's Kickstarters. It's really a good way to kind of fund projects, really. And
so,
have you done a Kickstarter before?
No.
Like
I said, I think I don't know if this is true or not, but I mean, you don't want to do too many. I mean,
well, why not? I don't know. Is that bad?
I don't know.
Now that Kickstarters?
Well, if people are getting new and different things each time out of it, I'm sure it's great.
Yeah, if it's worth it. I guess, you know, I don't want to ask a lot. I don't want to really ask a lot. I want to give a lot. I want the album to be good. The next time I record an album, am I going to start a Kickstarter for it? I would hope that the Kickstarter that people helped me with was enough to like get things going to, you know, I don't think your album would be that successful if you had to start a Kickstarter each time. Did you sell any records?
You know, I mean, the people who want to support you would be happy to do it and get the music early. So it's really a win-win for them, even if you do it every time you release an album.
It'd be an interesting survey to
It would be. I would be very curious.
You know, how many?
Just do it and let us know how it goes.
Well, you know, in today's world, though, I mean, it's impossible for everybody to constantly be digging in their own pockets to fund projects. And you do make a point. Why not use the money from previous records, I guess? I don't know. I think you said that, didn't you? Yeah,
I have a plan for mine. I have a generating plan for mine. So, I mean, I would think if my plan goes as planned that I wouldn't need another Kickstarter. I would kickstart. This is the Kickstarter.
This is to get the initial investment.
I'll mow the rest of the lawn. Future. You started it. I mean, I'm not going to need to stop halfway.
I like it.
It's a good goal, man.
What do you like most about playing music? Like, what is it? There's got to be something.
What I like most about playing music is the moments that I'm playing it. I like those moments. Maybe that's like maybe it's a 5-second burst or a 10-second time where you can stop and just, I don't know. I'm really grateful to be playing. So that's my favorite thing. My favorite thing is playing a blues club with a tabletop crowd and maybe a little dance floor and all that kind of stuff, and people that are listening and paying attention to something I work really, really hard at. I don't know, just those moments. I like being able to express myself with something other than words.
Sure. What do you like least about playing music?
What do I like least? Let's see here. Least about playing music.
If anything, maybe nothing. Maybe there is nothing.
I don't know. I mean, the very least thing I like is, you know, is being out of time or something. Maybe having to force a groove or like losing a groove.
I mean, are there ever times, like, I mean, especially when you're on tour, where you're just not feeling it?
Oh, yeah.
You know, you're just like, God, I can't do another night.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think that it comes down to I cannot do another night, but it's at this level because it is a level. And I don't think I would have said that last year. I don't think I was on a level last year, but last year that I've taken some steps to be on, like, I'll say it and I'll say it again because it's something I believe in, and it's a blues circuit. It's a difference between going out and just, it's a difference of touring. I think that, it's easy. It's easy if you have the right crew. with the right crew. I would think my biggest pet peeve is having to try to convince somebody day after day the same thing.
Like to keep motivating everyone else around you. Yeah. Do you ever like
the case?
But you always feel motivated to play music.
No.
What do you do? What do you do when you don't? Like when you just don't want to go out, but you have to?
Because,
what do you do?
I am still at the level 2 where the Sundays and Mondays, mainly like the Tuesdays, I roll around and you are playing kind of a taco shop place, and it's not a music venue, and it's just whatever. No offense, Sancho's in San Antonio or Lola in Denver or any of those taco shops.
It's oddly specific,
But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it is hard. Sometimes it is hard to because I take the music seriously, and so if it's not being taken serious, you have to remember that it's a privilege and that it's not your job to be admired. It's your job to provide whatever the venue may be calling for, like background music or something that somebody can and do that. I think with that state of mind, it's much easier, but it's easy to kind of be burnt out too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Because it's hard to not feel, not get back what you're giving.
Sure.
I bet.
Another thing you posted about is the Utah's listening room.
Yeah.
What is this? I've never heard this either.
So this is a really cool thing that Amir Jackson, who...
Oh yeah, we did the Connect with Amir.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Amir. Okay. I thought making sure I was saying that right.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I said it wrong.
I think we said it the same way.
Pretty-
I'm confusing things.
You both said it wrong.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, he started a thing called the Utah's Listening Room. Excuse me.
Is this up in Ogden then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's up in Ogden, and from what I've gathered, it's 3 shows. It's me and Sammy Brew and some gal. I cannot recall her name. I listened to a couple of her videos. It was really nice music, but I can't remember now. But it's a place where it's an intimate place where there's no booze, I don't think, and it's just like a living room environment, kind of like a storyteller's.
Sure. That's cool. Is this open now then, or is it this okay?
Yeah. And you can find that on Facebook too, the Utah's Listening Room, and they've got their address and their pictures of the venue and upcoming shows and kind of think like their pitch, like what they're about and the whole thing,
Okay, cool. And I'll try to get that link.
And that's February 24th. I'll be up there.
Oh, okay. Other hobbies and interests. I always like to find out a little bit more about people that come on the show, kind of what makes them tick a little bit more. I mean, obviously with you, a big thing is music. What else do you like to do, Tony? You mentioned poetry earlier. Do you still write poetry?
I write a lot. I like philosophy, and I like that kind of stuff. So I'm always writing stuff down and just jokes and stuff, just...
You ever published any of your writing books?
No, it's not like that. Nothing like that. But I got some crazy stories. A harmonica hero and friend of mine, RJ Michaud, out of Minnesota, said I should write a book. I fly blues guys in once a month. That's what I do in my off time.
Into Salt Lake?
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
Like, what do you mean fly them in? What?
Like on an airplane.
You personally fly the airplane?
No.
Well, no. I mean,
I just heard about it. I just heard that's how they get there. When I see them, they're on the pavement and they got like a suitcase and shit.
What do you do with them when they get here?
I throw them in my Cougar, my 1986 Cougar. That's got tape cassettes only. I got some old blues tapes, and no, I did. I take them back home. I have a vacation rental.
Oh, nice.
In my house that we built, and I put them there. I do 2 shows with them, and then I do a workshop, like a harmonica workshop or a songwriting workshop. And I'm a booking agent, for a couple labels, and so the next couple, not this next one, but the one after that will be a booking workshop on a presentation on how to present yourself and not creep people out.
It's a good thing to do.
That's
actually a very legit that's a lot of people need something like that.
So can people contact you? Can musicians contact you then to help them with this?
Oh, and do they ever?
Everybody does, huh?
Has anyone ever been creepy enough that you have to turn them down because you're like, I just can't help you?
No comment.
He doesn't know who's listening to this podcast.
No, if you can ask a lot of people, and I think there's been a couple of surprised people that they hit me up, and I work from home, and I book big blues bands, like a lot of them that I want to meet that I still haven't met. And I watch my baby. And so when people say, Tony, can I pick your brain about something the worst? I was like, just come over for a cup of coffee. Mm-hmm. And so I had a couple people be like, yeah, I'm really surprised that you just invited me over here and whatnot. And I just don't mind giving, I think it's fair game. I think even with the knowledge of booking and little stuff on like the first sentence and just what people don't want to hear and like the stuff like that, they're still going to have a hard time with that knowledge, and so I'm always willing to give it out. It's not a secret of mine. It's not something I'm threatened by giving out. But yeah, all the time.
If you could learn one random skill besides music, what would you like to learn?
Oh, besides music,
I've had people on the show, ventriloquism, unicycles,
balloon animals,
sign language. I don't know. Is there anything like in the back of your head? Like with me with harmonicas, I'm like, man, that would be a cool thing to learn. But what is your thing that's kind of sitting in the back of your head?
A secret? Did you just say like a super skill or something, right?
Just a random skill, a super skill. Yeah.
I think. That's kind of tough, because everything kind of comes back to. You can't say traveling and like all the stuff that already comes with music. To take that away, I would have to say, man, I don't know. Maybe like, I'd like to be a fighter, like a
MMA fighter or something.
No, like a classic like boxer. I'd like to learn that. I think that would be a fun trade.
I don't think anyone's ever said
boxing.
That one.
Yeah.
I'd like to dedicate. That's something you have to dedicate your whole life to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's another path. I think that
and possibly brain cells.
Fun, I don't know.
If money was no object, how would you spend your day?
I do this all the time, and so I just got done giving harmonicas to the homeless, and I do that kind of stuff. I think I would spend it giving it away. I love giving shit away. I love giving money away. I used to have nice rings. I don't got any rings anymore. I've given them all away. And so I fantasize a lot. That's how I put myself to sleep, by counting money on who I would give it to. Showing up at a certain friend's house I can think of, and putting them on a plane and going to New York and taking them to a high rise and then opening up a briefcase of money and just being like, bam, here's your shot.
Can I be your friend?
Yeah, it sucks for now, but it sounds cool later.
Harmonicas to the homeless here in Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Like you just go down to Pioneer Park or something and give people
I just drive around to
harmonica?
the sign holders.
Really?
Oh,
Yep.
right on.
And you say, here's a harmonica.
I took some grass
Yeah.
and I took some harmonicas and I say, would you rather have a joint or a harmonica? And or I'd take a couple bucks and I'd say, would you rather have a couple bucks or a harmonica? And I videotaped it and all that kind of stuff.
What's the consensus? What do they?
A lot of harmonicas.
That's
awesome.
A lot
of couple people.
I think I would take the grass. You know what I mean?
So we had only one grass taker. Everybody kind of wants the box because it's like the box, but it's smaller and it has one of those in it. One of these.
Sure, he's holding a harmonica
Like
for people
nice
listening.
harmonicas.
Oh yeah, harp. And it was nice harmonicas. I had a few people hit me up and be like, "Dude, like, give me one."
Yeah.
But I think that's what I would.
Did you do anything with these videos? Are they on YouTube or anything?
Yeah, on Facebook. I put them on there.
Facebook.
Yeah.
So they have to be your friend on Facebook
I guess so.
On your personal Facebook
Or homeless. You could see it straight up.
Just be.
They don't call them homeless.
That's the
They're
way.
boatless. If you gave them a boat, they would be sea captains.
I like the way you think. What do you want written on your tombstone when you die?
I always say 2 words. You'll see.
I like that.
Leaves you wanting more.
Do you have a go-to karaoke song?
No.
Do you ever do karaoke?
No.
Never?
No.
All right, why not?
I'm always singing a few nights in the bar anyway.
But isn't it fun to just like not care? Just sing and not care. That's the point
I do
of
that
karaoke.
anyway.
All right, that's fair.
If you could go back to your first day of high school and give yourself advice, what would you say?
You really want to know?
I want to know.
I would say that's a funny thing. I had my first day of high school. I back in those days I was into experimenting a lot with like LSD a lot, and so that Sunday I knew Monday was my first day of high school. I ended up taking some, and I couldn't go to sleep, and I came home And I thought it would be a good idea to take like one hit every hour so I could just kind of stay, so I wouldn't just be like, it
wouldn't fade.
I wouldn't fade out. And so I did that. And man, I showed up and they had big, long lockers and they were different colors, like oranges and reds and yellows. And I couldn't handle it. So I left. So I came back the second day. So if I could tell myself anything the first day, I'd probably say, like, drink some orange juice and don't go back home and, like, go take a hike or something. Because I remember going back home. That was a big mistake. So, long story.
That was the most real answer. I love it though. I love it though. If you could do, next question, if you could do anything for your next birthday, what would you do? Not play a damn show. I won't play, and I'll go enjoy somebody else's situation rather than work. I always find myself playing birthday shows, so I won't play. Sometimes it's important to just sit back and enjoy your birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And let's kind of shift gears a little bit towards Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
I kind of like to ask some Salt Lake City related questions to everybody who comes on the show. If somebody was visiting Salt Lake for the first time, say some friends or relatives, what would you tell them to do or check out? Is there like an area of town or a building or something you would say, go check this out, go do this?
So it happens all the time. Like we bring people in and they ask me, what should I check out? And I think lately I bought a house in Sugar House, and I live there half the year. And I like that area. I think it's something that when you come to Salt Lake City, you can either see Salt Lake and you kind of know Salt Lake, but it's kind of off to the side. And when I tell people about Sugar House when I'm traveling, it's hard to explain, for me anyway, because it's like a district. It's like another district or something. And it's becoming more, I don't know. I would say Sugar House,
Go check out Sugar House and check out the shops in Sugar
especially
House.
soon. I see a lot of potential there.
Before it explodes, right?
Any favorite local?
Is it exploding?
I mean, don't you think? Well, it's getting better.
Explodes.
Not like in a negative way, like
not
death,
literally,
but like explowing as in
Before it explodes.
I was like, when is this?
That could be a bomb threat, but I hope not. I meant with
people.
more people.
Sure.
And,
Well, I
and
want more
activity.
people to come
like
here,
go see a couple of the low key bars there before someone comes in and makes.
I need to be asking the question of what should I go check out in Salt Lake, because
you're
I don't
touring
know
all the
Salt
time?
Lake that well. I really don't.
Because he's traveling all the time, Chris.
I'm always
That makes
traveling
sense.
and I'm at home. I'm at home when I'm not. I'm playing harmonica. I still play 3-4 hours every single day.
Oh wow!
There's not one day that goes by that I don't play unless my lips are cut out.
Wow.
What about? Do you have any favorite local eating spots? I mean, there's got to be one or two places that you like to go eat at.
Sure, yeah, I like a lot of eating spots. I like Rusted Sun. I like for pizza. I like curry fried chicken. I like the Sartain's place next to Urban Lounge.
Rye.
Yeah. And I like Ken on Thai on 9th and 4th. I think their Thai food's really good. And there's a Jewish deli by my house that my bass player lives in Texas. But when he's in town, he found this Jewish deli by my house, and it's really good. And there's a Little Bangkok? Is that what it is? In Sugar House, I think it's Little Bangkok. It's a pho place.
That's up your alley,
Oh,
Chrissy.
heck yeah.
It's good.
I'm not really a
So
pho person.
good.
I don't know. Send the negative emails my way. Sorry.
Are those the negative email people, the pho people?
The pho people, they get real upset. Let me tell you.
They get upset.
I thought they were the chilled out ones. I'm not sure. They probably are the ones.
Are there any words of wisdom or pieces of advice that you would like to leave with the listeners as we kind of wrap this up here today?
Yeah, you don't gotta look like you sound. I think a lot of people focus on matching their image up with what they think that should look like to what they sound like. And I think more and more often I'm always surprised by some of my favorite artists, the way they look and how little attention they've given to that, and how well it works too. They're not ugly people or disorganized by any means, but
I like that, actually.
Yeah.
How can people find you? Website, addresses? I mean, how can people find you if they're
Preferred
listening right
stalking methods.
now? How can they find Tony and your music?
Let's see here, TonyHolidayMusic.com, and Tony Holiday and the Velvetones on Facebook, and with Road Dog Touring, Road Dog, DAWG touring.com. I'm on their roster, and then JT Concerts will be touring Europe in September, and I'm with that booking label on their roster. So just Tony Holiday and the Velvetones on the Google bar.
Yeah, just connect it.
Stuff
and I'll try to get all those links at iamsaltlake.com with this interview. Anything else you want to add, Tony? I mean, I've had a great time sitting here chatting to get to know you. Anything more you want to add, Chrissy?
I'm good. I've enjoyed it.
And the record button's still going here.
I know the Utah Music Festival just started. They just started the first Utah Music Festival, and it's at like different bars throughout the weekend, throughout the valley. It seems to be pretty cool. Again, like we got our Kickstarter. We're on our road to BB King's. We're playing BB King's in Times Square in New York City, opening for Tommy Castro and the Painkillers. And I think that's about it. I mean, the Blues Society, a lot of blues shows coming up. I'm playing at the Egyptian Theater March 15th with Mark Hummel and his Texas All-Stars and Golden State Review and stuff like that. So yeah, just bluessociety.org.
Check them out online.
Yeah.
And then come March 15th, you said at Egyptian Theater up in Park City. Mm-hmm. Beautiful venue.
Yeah.
Beautiful venue. Any other shows you got coming up, Tony? Here in Salt Lake that's worth mentioning? Or
Yeah, let's see here. I'm playing both Bar Named Sue's this weekend, back to back. I'm still doing a lot of that stuff outside of the events stuff we're doing. So, the Egyptian Theater is something I'm excited about. And then like the Utah Music Festival, I think those guys are doing something really cool, doing a cool job with that. It's always good to see, so yeah.
Well, cool.
Right on.
Thank you so much. We'll end it there. All right. Many thanks to Tony Holiday for coming on this episode and sharing his story. Hopefully you all enjoyed it.
It was a good story.
I enjoyed chatting with him and finding out kind of his story and kind of finding out, how he got to young Tony to old Tony.
Yeah.
And sharing, how he's involved with being a blues musician and flying him here to Salt Lake and booking tours. I mean, this guy is busy.
He does a lot of stuff.
Connect with him on social media. Mm-hmm. We put that at iamsaltlake.com/266. Check out all the links right there. Connect with him. Let us know you listened to this episode. Tell us your thoughts. It would mean a lot to us. We love email. I know Chrissy and myself, we love email. We love getting it from listeners.
Yeah, we love having conversations with you guys.
It doesn't do any good if you guys just listen and end it there. Got to keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
Just because we only put out one episode right now a week doesn't mean that you need to stop the conversation there. Connect with us. Anyway, we got a couple of emails from Michelle in Ogden that we wanted to share. Actually, one of them was meant to be shared on last week's episode. I didn't get to it, so many apologies, Michelle, for not sharing this email and responding. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to read it here. So Michelle sent an email. This was actually sent to us 10 days ago. So again, apologies for not getting to it. She writes, so I got behind on the podcast in 2013 and 2014 due to technology issues and early 2016 due to shoulder replacement surgery. I just watch TV, listening to podcasts, just put her to sleep. So each week after I listen to the latest episode, I go back and listen to an older one.
Oh, so that's a good way to catch up.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I know there's so many episodes out there.
Yeah.
So listen to the new one, go back and listen to an older one. Anyway, she continues to write, today I listened to Richie's interview with you, which was probably recorded in 2013, but which was posted in January 2014, almost 3 years ago. It was so great to hear the backstory. I'd already listened to Chrissy's interview with you. I think that was early 2016, but this one went back to your childhood. Thanks so much for being interviewed and for being so raw with it. I really enjoyed learning more about you. One of these days, you need to do a more in-depth interview with Chrissy and go back or have someone else do that. Again, I've listened to the interview you did with her, but that didn't go all the way back. I listened. So I want to kind of interject there. Mm-hmm. So when you did the interview with me, Chrissy, I felt like Richie's interview is the one that kind of went way back, and then this one kind of brought me back to present.
Yeah, it was almost like broken into parts.
Yeah, so I get what Michelle's saying here, and I apologize. I guess, I don't know, do I want to keep going back and keep rehashing that same story?
We could get like a hypnotherapist in here and, really get it all out of you.
I don't know. So I'm kind of interested to know what how far back she wants to go. I mean, maybe even bring my mom in here, share my
we need to get your mom
story
on the mic.
Let's see, where was I at here? I listened to your dating podcast, only 13 episodes, sad. But I don't know how things have progressed with you guys either. I mean, I know the basics that you moved in together, got a house together, then got engaged. Maybe you need to do an update of Dating Baggage and give us all a picture of your life since you stopped that podcast. I don't know. I'm just rambling. I guess the bottom line is this. I really enjoy getting to know the two of you more. So either keep up the podcast or we need to go out so we can talk.
And or both.
I love it. Yeah, no. So, an update. I mean, like we shared at the beginning, we're gonna have a kid. We're gonna have a baby.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get
That's
a follow.
Pretty big, significant update.
You're gonna get to follow those adventures there, and I know it's hard with a podcast like I Am Salt Lake. It's like, how much of us do we share on here?
Right, because it's not about us.
Well,
really. I mean,
sort of. It's
here.
our adventures in Salt Lake, and
Yeah,
now with
yeah.
a kid coming, I'm sure we're going to do a lot more family-oriented things, a lot more kid-friendly things, a lot more kid activities.
Yeah, we'll learn a lot.
I will learn a lot.
You will learn a lot.
So, I mean, we've tossed around the idea of doing another Dating Baggage podcast episode. That might happen. We might be doing another podcast. There is so much.
We just really like to talk.
Yeah. So that was, I just kind of wanted to respond to Michelle here. It's a lot easier for me here. I mean, I get so many emails. Sometimes it's hard for me to catch
respond
up
to everything.
with everything.
Yeah.
So on that note, I mean, if you send us an email, be patient.
Yeah.
With me at least, with my day job, sometimes it gets difficult to respond to those emails. Also wanted to, she sent us another email about 5 days later, right after the Tin Angel episode, where Michelle from Ogden sent this email in. It said, "Thank you for your interview about Tin Angel, and especially thank you for asking about gluten-free. Her answer was fantastic, and it also means I can go there with my hubby and our friend who is vegan-vegetarian, depending on the day." So that was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I asked her for Michelle. I mean, she's connected in our Facebook group,
Right.
in our I Am Salt Lake community.
It's nice to really know, like, Salt Lake has some great gluten-free options, and this is one more we can add to the list.
Yeah, and so like she says in here, I rarely go to a place if I don't already know they are good with gluten and celiac because it's just not worth it.
Right.
I agree. That's why I asked her on the podcast. My hubby and I have left places before with me in tears, or I have been in tears of frustration trying to find a place to eat at here. So thank you again, Michelle. Really much appreciated emails that we get.
We love reading your emails.
You can email either one of us, Chris@IamSaltLake.com.
Or Chrissy@IamSaltLake.com.
As always, remember this episode of the podcast is sponsored by Jed's Barbershop. With 3 locations now, you have no reason to not always look your best. Go get a haircut, a beard trim, or even a straight razor shave. Jed's Barbershop is open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., Saturday 9 to 7, and Sunday 12 to 5. Their brand new 3rd location just barely opened up. It's located at 167 East, 900 South. It's right next door to Randy's Records. They also have a downtown location at 212 South, 700 East, and in Sugar House at 2153 East, 2100 South. No appointment is necessary. Just show up, get a haircut. You can call in advance. Maybe you're on your way there and you said, put my name on the list. I'll help you get in there a little bit faster. You can get a root beer, grape soda, nice drink while you're waiting for a haircut. They were recently voted best in state by City Weekly and KSL. Head on over to jedsbarbershop.com for more information. All right, Chrissy, let's close out this episode. Many thanks to Tony Holiday for coming on this episode. Again, drop us an email. Tell us your thoughts about the podcast. We love to hear from our listeners.
Yeah.
Connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram as Chrissy and I share our adventures here in Salt Lake City. We seriously love each and every one of you for your constant support and for sharing this podcast with your family and friends. We couldn't do this without you guys, so many thanks.
Thanks for being listeners,
Leave us iTunes reviews. We love those. Yes. Share the episodes with your family and friends. Get out, support Olio and Jed's. You guys have a great week.
And good night, Grammy.